Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's not quite 10, but I just plugged you in. Wait a minute, Alexa, turn the volume down a little. I have music on, but I don't want it to overshadow what we're doing. So, it is a lovely Friday morning here in Franklin, Massachusetts. The sky is blue. It's going to get up to 50-something degrees today. Jack's already out working in the yard. Well, he's already been out for a while. But anyway, it's a lovely day. It's a lovely weekend. It's going to be a lovely weekend. It's going to be a lovely week. So it's very exciting. And I'm wicked excited because I have a brand new system here. Finally decided that my iPad needed to be updated because it wasn't supporting my switcher in the way it could have, and I had to jigger and roll everything. You know how that situation was. Anyway, it is now 10 o'clock, so let's get started. So yes, as I was saying just a minute ago, I have a new system, I have a new iPad, I have a new phone, I have a new watch. Verizon had this special, and it's only costing me $10 more a month, and I'm happier than a little pig in the mud hole. So anyway, let's get started today. It is Friday, April 18th. It's the beginning of the Holy Weekend, with today being Good Friday, and tomorrow Saturday, Holy Saturday, and then Sunday, Easter. So happy Easter to everybody. Happy spring to those who don't celebrate the Christian holiday, but happy to everybody. All right, so let me show you what we're going to do here. Here we go. So this is the card that I decided to do today. I love this new set. This is called Cheer. That's actually a suite. Cheers and Sips bundle. And it comes with the designer paper. It comes with the stamp set. Let me show you the stamp set. Here's the stamp set. Cheers and Sips. Cute, 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 adorable. Plus it has the dies that go with it. This is the designer series paper. It's got some ribbon that goes with it as well, but it's just a beautiful, cute set and very appropriate for the spring through the summer and the fall, actually any time of year. So let's get started here. So what I'm going to first do is I am going to start with these new fancy schmancy wine goblets. The goblets, the wine glasses I have stems, but apparently this is the new shape. I don't know why. There's probably something to do with aeration and whatever. But anyway, if anybody's on, please pop on and say hello. That would be nice so that I know that my new system is actually working very well. Anyway, let's continue. All right, so let me just move this out of the way. And what we're going to start with is actually, I'm going to start with the wine goblet. I am using watercolor paper to do this because when I do a project like this, I like to have watercolor paper because the ink just seems to really grab onto the paper and it looks very nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my little paint palette in, and I've got three colors here. I've got Bubble Bath, Blackberry Bliss, and what's this one? This one is lemony yellow. And I'm going to add a little bit of water. Now, these are the ones that I used a couple days ago. Hi, Jan. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I'm so glad you're able to pop on because I was wondering. I have a brand new system. I've got a brand new iPad and a brand new phone, and it's working very nicely for me, so I'm hoping it's working on your end as well. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm just going to add a little bit of water to each one of these little puddles, and just to give it a little bit of thinness, because I don't want a lot of color on here. And I'll explain let me bring my sample back in and I'll explain. Beth can't find me on Facebook. What? Oh no. Maybe what she has to do is go to Stamping and Creating with Barbara. That's really weird because I was at the Verizon store yesterday and they transferred everything over. So it should be able for her to find me. Gosh, keep me posted about that. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, talking about this. So as you can see, this is very shiny because I used Winky. And what I initially did with this, first of all, I colored it with the watercolor, with my aqua painter and the ink. And then I stamped the blackberries inside, and then I covered it with the Wink of Stella, which I'm not going to do today because even though you can see them, I think that the better option would be to stamp this after I have the Winky on. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how it works. Okay, all right, so now I'm just going to take my color. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit over here. Actually, I'm going to put it on this side, yeah. All right, now I'm going to first start with Bubble Bath, and I'm just going to get a little bit of a wash here, and I'm just going to brush a lot of that right off into my well, and I'm just going to start. Yep, that looks good to me. Perfect. Then I'm going to mix up some of the lemony yellow, lemon lolly actually it's called, and I'm going to remove some of that. Oh gosh, I'm hoping she's going to be able to find me. And then I'm going to add some of this. You know what? I am going to add my Artlight. Yeah, that's better for me. And a little bit, just a little bit. I kind of want it to look like sangria. And then I'm going to take the Blackberry Bliss. Now this is the one that's the darker of the three. Oh, I'm so sorry she's not able to find me. I don't know. See, I hope that everything goes well, and then son of a gun, it's not showing up on Facebook. So are you on? Well, I have no idea what's going on now. Is it showing up on YouTube? Can you see if it's on YouTube? All right, there we go. So there's that color with the Blackberry Bliss. This is Beth. Oh, Beth. Okay. So wait a minute. Are you watching on YouTube, or are you watching on Facebook? That is so weird. I have no clue what's going on. All right. So, 6 steps ahead and 7 steps backwards. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of color. There. That's perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put my ink over here so I don't get it splattered on me or anything else. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. And while that's drying, we're going to work on the next part of the card. All right, so the base of the card is Blackberry Bliss, and you know the size, 8.5, 5.5, scored and then folded nicely. So then what I did was I took one of the folders from these mini folders. This is the Glass and Garden embossing folder, which actually comes with this suite. And I put it in like this. I love this. It's really a very different kind of embossed look, and I liked it. So what I did was I put it in on my Blackberry Bliss like this. I'll show you what I did. Like this. And I actually I've said that, yes, it is on YouTube. Thank you. That's good news. But I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Jeepers. All right. So what I did was I put it on, and I love the fact that some of our embossing folders have guidelines. You can see that guideline right there, the black. I'm on Facebook. Couldn't find you on YouTube, but I'm here. Paula, good morning. Now, isn't that weird? Paula couldn't find me on YouTube, and Beth and Jan could get me on Facebook eventually. Well, wait a minute, Jan, are you on Facebook or YouTube? Oh, gosh, this is crazy. All right, I'm glad you're here. Anyway, so there is the little guideline, which I really love. So I put the bottom of my paper on the guideline right like that, and the edge all the way up nice and straight so that this pattern came out even. And so I ran it through my stamp and score machine, and this is what it looks like. You see that? Isn't that pretty? It's just different. These little squares remind me of coasters. And I thought, how appropriate, because these are bottles, wine goblets, glasses, martini glasses, whatever. And how appropriate, so a little coaster. Anyway, so there's that. So the next thing I did was I took a piece of Strawberry Slush cardstock, which is our new returning, one of our new returning in colors. I love Strawberry Slush. I love the way it looks. And I cut this piece. Let me just measure this here. So this piece is 2 1/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. 2 1/4, 5 1/4. And then this piece of Designer Series is 2 by 5. And now I'm going to adhere them to get them together like this. Now I'm all discombobbled in my head, worried about why Facebook is giving me grief. I was so proud as Punch, thinking, oh, this is so exciting. I've got a brand new setup going here. It's perfect. It's working beautifully. Anyway, at least you're on. That's good. All right. So here we go. Putting this DSP on equidistant east, west, north, south. And there is a little bit of a little error here. Let me loosen this up. I don't usually do it with my bone folder, but it's okay. The bone folder is working because I haven't really pressed it down tight with my fingers yet. And if this was on in, and I pressed it with my fingers, dental floss works. Of course, you have to have a person with you to do it. So I would have to call Jack in from outside. That wouldn't work very good. Okay, there we go. All right, now that looks perfect to me. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is add some adhesive to the back of this, and then I'm going to put it on the base of the card. So you can make this like, this looks like sangria, what I mixed on the in the goblet. It could be orange juice, it could be lemonade, which I love. Ani Palmer iced tea, we could do that. Okay, so there goes this. Then the next thing I did was I took a piece of peach pie cardstock and I stamped it in pumpkin pie. See that? I stamped it in pumpkin pie. And now I'm going to take my Flirty Flamingo watercolor marker, and I'm just going to color this in because I want to give it a look sort of like a blood orange or a, oh God, what are those oranges that are really dark in color? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, sort of like a blood orange or one of the yellowy oranges, because I think the combination of these colors lends itself very nicely to a nice tropical fruit. I mean, well, yeah, it could be tropical. And I'm not going to go too dark because I want the segments of this orange to show through, which they're doing very nicely, like that. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to just cut a little slit because this is going to go on top of the glass. So I'm going to take, do you love my little scissors? Paula gave me, Paula Tui, the one who's on. She gave me these a while ago. I love them. Look at, this is these, when I'm having trouble, I just sit here and pop these things down, push them down. And then when the stress starts to relieve itself, then I calm down and I go a little bit slower. And then eventually I'm back to whatever my normal is. Okay, that's that. All right, so then the next thing I did was I took a piece of scrap, a basic white cardstock. I stamped the word cheers in Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to take my little trimmer, which is right here, and I'm going to trim this out on both edges like this. I love these little 6-inch trimmers. They just come in so handy. They're perfect for these little projects so that I don't have to go to my cutter. But I'm going to cut this like this, trim this out just like this. I can't get you on Facebook. Had a hard time getting you back on YouTube, but I'm back now. Thank you, Jan. I don't know what the heck is going on. It's voodoo. I don't like it. Ugh, just maddens me. All right, so that's cut. Now I am going to take my little snippets and I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to bevel cut it like that. And then I'm going to bevel cut the other edge the same way, like that. Oh, that looks good to me. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Dauber and my Blackberry Bliss ink, and I don't know what. Now, see, I'm so muddled in my head. I can't, it just upsets me when these things go wrong. Ugh. Anyway, a little bit of daubing and just a little bit of daubing the edges, because this is going to go on a white circle that I've cut out with the Spotlight on Nature dies. I'll show you that in a minute. And I want it to pop up, you know, a little bit. Okay, so there's that. Let me cover this up again. Okay, then I am going to bring in my little circle, and I'm going to, let's see how my little jar is. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Winky, and I am going to color this. I'm going to color this very nicely. Gosh, I love Winky. It's just such a fun little accoutrement to our repertoire of wonderful tools. Oh, brother. Okay, all right, there we go. That's perfect. And I am going to do this up here because this is a glass, obviously, so it would be shiny. So I want to make sure that that looks shiny. Okay, so that's perfect. Now I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to just test to make sure that my slit on my blood orange is, oh, that's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive just to the bottom part right here. Perfect. And then I'm going to bring this in like this. I went to the other store looking for blood oranges. They said they no longer sell them, but they had raspberry oranges. Raspberry oranges? Are you kidding? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to look for those. Raspberry oranges. Never heard of them. Wait a minute. This needs to be, there we go. That's good, like that. Okay, so then, of course, I have to add a little winky to the orange because it's juicy and sweet. My friend Helene sent me a case of oranges. She sends me a case of oranges every time the new season hits in Florida. And oh my gosh, the ones she sent recently, they looked like navels, but I'm not exactly sure if they were. No, they were so juicy and so sweet. Oh, I love them. Okay, so that's good. So let's let this dry for a moment. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the inside of my card. So I already went ahead and stamped, "It's your day, let's celebrate." I stamped it, I did it cattywampus like that. These are two separate stamps, but I put them on the same block. I'm so glad to get a cup full of Barbara. Well, I love having you, my Canadian friends, on as well. Thank you so much for joining me every single week. It means a lot. It's just, it's so nice. I yell at technology a lot, but when I wouldn't, without technology, I wouldn't have Jan and Beth with me. And, well, for that matter, I wouldn't have Paul, or I wouldn't have anybody else who came onto my site, for that matter. Okay, so now this is going to go on the inside of the card just like this. And, whoops, let's pull it over right. I want it east, west, north, south, even. That looks good to me. All right, we'll press that down. And then I am going to add some little blackberries with my little stamp here. And let me get my little PS pad out, because this is a photopolymer stamp. So I like to have this. Okay. And, whoa! That almost flew right out. All right, let me stamp. I think I'm going to do, I don't know. Let's see. There's one. Look at how cute this is. 2, 3. Yeah, let's do 5. Maybe we'll do more. Maybe we'll just do the whole bottom. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I can do it. There we go. Perfect. All right, that's done. So there is the inside of the card. How cute is that? Plenty of room to write a lovely birthday message. Now, the envelope, I'm going to do the same thing to. Lots of little raspberries, or these could be blackberries too, which we love in our house. My husband has at least 2 cups of blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries every day. A combination, plus a banana. He's a fruit guy. And on his cereal, he has to have lots of fruit. Okay, so there's that. That's very festive. Now, I think it's time that I can bring back my little, yes, this seems dry. Look at that. It seems dry. So let's try and see what happens. I'm going to ink this up. Now, I'm not going to, well, yeah, I guess I am going to use the PS pad. Let's try this, because I don't want it to not stamp well. So let's just see what happens. Oh, this is so much better. Why not? Jan, you're funny. Okay, there we go. Oh, this is so much better. Now you have to have 3, so let's do one more. Let's do one little one right there. Oh, it's so much better. I'm so glad I did that. Oh, there. Now, I'm not going to touch it with Winky again because I don't want it to bleed out. But look at that. That looks much, much better than the first one. I bet you can even see that on on the camera. See how much different this looks? I stamped it after. So that's just another little FYI. When you want to stamp on top of something like a glass or, you know, a jar or whatever, if you do your stamping after you do your Winky, it's not going to bleed out as much as this did. I mean, this is fine. It looks fine. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my card back in. I'm going to take my base, which is, this is from Spotlight on Nature. I love these dies. I use them a lot. There are 12 of them. They are blood oranges, but they no longer use the word blood oranges BP. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Well, thank you, Beth, for that little tidbit here. I didn't know that, but now I know. So now I will go look for raspberries. I love it. Raspberry oranges. Actually, that's even sweeter. Get it? Sweeter. Anyway, back to these. These are, you know, I love them because there's 12 different ones, beautiful shapes and sizes, and I used the larger version of this one, which is on the other side of this. Okay, so there's that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive on this. Yes, this is going to go on with adhesive. And you probably did notice that there was a little smudgeola on the other side right there. But guess what? I am going to hide that because my little jar glass is going to go over that. Okay, so I'm going to put this on like this. And I'm going to pat it down nicely. You know, I could have added a little Blackberry Bliss to this. But that's okay. That's fine. Now I'm going to take some dimensionals. And I'm going to add some dimensionals. I'm going to make sure that I put a dimensional on the orange slice and on the watercolor paper. And I'm just going to put a lot of these on. Sometimes I put a lot, sometimes I don't. But in this situation I am because it's a thicker paper. I do want it to pop up nicely. So we'll do this. And then I've got some other things to show you because as some of you remember, I missed the name of the bundle. Is it brand new? It's an online bundle. It's called Cheers and Sips. Cheers and Sips. Isn't that cute? Okay, so here's this. So I'm going to pull this over here just like this, like that. And then I'm going to take the cheers and I'm going to put a dimensional on both sides of that word. And I'm going to very strategically put this in. Cheers and Sips, Jan, that's what it's called. I'm going to put it like this. Cute, 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 cute. And then I'm going to take these cute little gems. Let me move that out of the way. Move this out of the way. Get that out of the way. All right, move that out of the way. And I'm going to add a bunch of these in. These are called the Purple Adhesive Back Sequins. And I love them. They have all different colors. I mean, they're all different colors, iridescent from light pink like Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia, and probably a lighter version of Blackberry Bliss. But anyway, I'm just going to take a bunch. I'm going to put 5 on. You know how I have to have things in odd numbers. So I think I'm going to put 1 here on the cheers. And then I'm going to put 1 down here. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put this one up like right here. And then I'm going to take this one. I'm going to put that one maybe like right here. And then maybe, okay, 3. 1 more. Let's do this one. And let's do it. Yeah, let's do it here. Like that. There we go. Perfect. Oh my gosh. I love it. Can you imagine the combinations you can have with this? Because it's just such a pretty card. It's the designer paper is amazing. Let me show you this. So here's the designer paper. Let me show you the right way. So this is the paper that I used, but let me pull out some of these other pieces so you can see what they look like. And the backs of them are gorgeous as well. All right, so there's the one that I just used this morning. The back of it is this. Isn't that pretty? See how pretty that would be on a card? Isn't that lovely? Then this, look at this. This is Blackberry Bliss Fresh Freesia Garden Green, and look at that combo. Isn't that pretty? You know, it just continues to amaze me. I know you're probably bored with the number of times I say it, but it's true. I just can't believe people can design these things. Now, these are palettes of all the different colors, which is beautiful. And the back side of that is pretty as well. So I haven't figured out. I've seen some things on Pinterest done with this pattern. And of course, you know, I have to copy. Now, this is the bigger version with all of the larger glasses in it with different things. Here's some lemonade. Here's, I don't know what that's called. What's this drink? I don't know what this drink is, but look at how pretty that is. That's got to be a combination of maybe pumpkin pie, flirty flamingo, lemon lolly, and then the sprig of rosemary, I guess. I don't know. But look at this one right here with the umbrella. How cute, and the cherry in it. This is absolutely stunning paper. And look at the reverse side of that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So that's that piece. Then here is one. I love this. Look at the lemon peels, orange peels. Look at how cute those are. And the slices, there's the lime. There's more cherries, strawberries, blackberries. Could be raspberries, either one. I just love that. And let's see what the flip side of that is. Ooh, that's pretty. This is the new, one of the new in colors. It is called, what is that new in color called? I'm drawing a blank. It is Secret Sea, I think. That's called Secret Sea. And then here's the last one. Look at this one. Look at these flowers. Aren't those pretty? Look at those luscious colors. Oh, and then here's the backside. Isn't that gorgeous? That bright, bright orange mixing in with these little tiny flowers. So there's lots of potential with this designer paper. I absolutely love it. So anyway, here are the cards that we did. This is the one that we did today, and you can see the difference between the berries here and the berries on that. Either one is fine. And then, of course, the envelope. There's the envelope, because you can't have a naked envelope, at least in my house. And then the inside. So that's what we're going to work on next Monday and Tuesday. But I wanted to show you, remember, last week we went away, my crafting group, my craft and getaway event, unwind weekend, 4 days, 3 nights. We went to the Stage Neck Inn in gorgeous York, Maine. We had a great time. But I just wanted to show you some of the things that we did, and maybe you'll be able to come with us next year. Love. I do too, Paula. I absolutely love it. So one of the things that we offer, if people want to do it, they can. They don't have to, but we do a shoebox swap. So everybody makes a card, and then however many people decide to sign up for the shoebox swap, then you have to prep for those people as well. So here is the first one that we did. Actually, let me bring it over this way so you can see it better. Okay, so this first one, this was done by Steph. Now, she didn't use this message on the outside. She had a Mother's Day message, which was very pretty, but my mom is not here anymore, and but anyway, but I love this. This is called Massive Thanks. This is an old retired stamp set, but I just loved, this isn't just a thank you card. It's a hug with a fold in the middle. Love it. I love it. So look at how cute that was. And I love the DSP that she used, and I love the different dies that she used to cut this out. So that was fun making that one. This one Jen Mabadi made, and I love this. This is from the Arches set and designer paper. But look at how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? A very simple card. You are simply fantastic. And the inside with a little bit of the designer paper on the bottom. What a great note card. It is fun paper, Beth. I love it. And this one Robin made. I love these panels. I don't know what the name of this set is, but look at how sweet this is. A very sweet card. 3 little panels, the same stamp set, using 2 different colors. This was Lemon Lolly, and this was Pop of Petunia. And this was the matching DSP, the in color DSP. How cute is that? And then the inside, Happy Birthday. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And then this one, Jen Anderson made, again, using panels, but this was really cute. This is a square. This piece here is a 2-inch square. Yep, this is a 2-inch square, and this is a 1.5-inch rectangle, and this is a 1-inch rectangle. And she just cut it this length and then had a banner to go over the bottom of it to cover up the space that was right there. How cute is that? Very sweet, very sweet. Plain on the inside, but a great note card. I love it. And then this one, Sharon Metzger made with with washi tape. Look at how fun this is. So what we did was we took a piece of paper and used the perennial postage die to cut it out. But before you did that, you took whatever color washi strips you wanted, put it on, and she had a million. She must have had maybe 100, maybe even more of washi tape that you could choose. So these are the colors that I chose. And I laid it on the piece of paper. The paper was probably 3.5 by 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then once I got it all on, I took it over to the Stampin' Cut machine and used the perennial postage die to cut this piece out. And then the inside piece was a piece of designer series paper. Isn't this clever? So the back of the card is actually one piece, 5.5 by 4 1/4, to which we mounted the piece of designer paper, and this designer paper is 6 inches by 5.5, and then it was scored at the 2-inch mark to allow for the fold to come over. And so you got to see the outside, the other side of the DSP. This was the inside of the DSP. How cute is that? A little birthday. Isn't that sweet? What a great use of washi tape. I love washi tape. And then this one was mine. This was using designer paper. 2 pieces of design. Well, the same designer paper. The flip side of this is this, and the flip side of that obviously is this. And then this little message with the punch that matches it, and then 3 little gold little buttony things with the wild wheat twine and to make a little bow, and there's the inside of it. So that was one thing. The shoebox swap is wicked fun. Love to do shoebox swaps. Then the next thing was we had 2 pop-up classes. Steph did this. Look at this. This is called a tea tower holder. Look at how sweet this is. I love, first of all, this is my very favorite, probably of all times, my very, very favorite perennial lavender DSP. And it's in the catalog, so that's really exciting. But look at how cute this is. So we decorated it. You know what, let me bring this over. This is a better image for you. So we decorated it. Wait a minute, let me pull this out just a little bit. Oops, the other way. There we go. Whoops, yeah, that's a, what the heck? Why is that doing that? Oh my God. Oh! All right, well, anyway, I'm going to not move it anymore because I don't want anything else to happen. Anyway, here's the tower. The tower itself is actually 6 1/4 inches tall, and it holds 30 tea bags. So here are the tea bags, and you just pull them out like that, and they pop down. And it was decorated with bumblebees. How cute are they? And some gems, some rhinestones, and then, of course, I had to use some Winky. And then at the very top, we used some of this beautiful white ribbon that's so nice to make into bows, and put a little bumblebee, a trinket bumblebee on top of that. Isn't that great? So there's that. So we made that, and the top that comes off, so you can pop in your tea bags like that. There you can see that. And then Lara Mara came and did a beautiful class on a sea glass art. Isn't that pretty? I made this all by myself. I drew the tree, the flower stems, and colored them in. And then she gave us all of these beautiful pieces of sea glass. And these are real sea glass. It's not pieces of glass put in a tumbler with a dye. This is real sea glass. She travels all over the world to get her sea glass. I mean, literally all over the world. So how pretty is that? And look at my cute little bumblebee. Can you see my little bumblebee? Wait a minute. I know what I can do. Let me bring this over here, and then let me see if I can get this. Oh, that's better. There we go. Okay. I know what I was doing wrong. I was enlarging my screen on the live part, and I can't do that. I have to do it on the other side. Doesn't matter to you anyway. Me and technology. But look at my bumblebee. So that was a piece of almost semi-transparent sea glass. And on the other side, we took a permanent marker and made the stripes for the bee's stripes, and then colored it in between with a lemony yellow, lemon lolly marker, water alcohol marker, to make it look like that. Then flipped it over, put his eyeball on, put his little wings on, and then his little flourish of flying. But isn't that cute? So we got to make that. So we had a wonderful time. And yes, Paula was with us. We had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And Paula and I went in swimming, and we went in the hot tub. So anyway, that was Maine last week. We had a grand time. We look forward to our Maine visit in December of this year. And if you want to come, we'd love you to come. So that's it for this week. So I wish you all a happy Easter if you celebrate Easter or just celebrating springtime, whatever it is you're doing this weekend. I hope you have a wonderful time either by yourself or with your family and friends. I will see you next week. We'll start on Mother's Day events, Mother's Day cards. And I think I'm going to throw in a card for men too, because I've seen some really cute cards with some really different templates. So we'll do that next week as well. All right, my friends, thank you so much. I'm sorry about the Facebook mix-up. I will try and figure that out right now. It's always something to figure out, isn't it? Anyway, you're with me. I love you all. Thank you so much. Namaste, my friends. Till next week. Bye.